Hello, my name is MaryJo Webb. I'm from Fairfax. I belong to the Gray Horse people, and I ask everyone that sees this and hears this to pay attention, because one of the most important things that we're going to do in June is elect a chief. Each village has to take care of each other. There must be all villages that are functional. One cannot be set aside for any reason, because that's not history and that's not our way, and it's certainly not part of the ancient beliefs. So when this Congress they did set up a palace grocery there in Fairfax that was for Gray Horse. But in some ways that I can't quite understand, it went bankrupt, it had to close, and so the Osage Gray Horse people began to ask Congress to get it back open. Let's get us a grocery store over here, we need one. And we never could get a response from the congressman. So we asked for a meeting with members of Congress at Gray Horse Community Building. We began to ask, when will we get our grocery store open? And Jeffrey Standing Bear took the lead in talking to us, discussing this. And so we gave our reasons for needing a grocery store. There were many Osage families that couldn't go out of town. They didn't have a vehicle to go out of town to buy groceries. So they needed that grocery store in town. And there was no reason we felt like that we shouldn't have it. But we were promised by Jeffrey Standing Bear that he would see to it, he'd go back and he would see to it that he got that grocery store open for us. That was the promise. So we waited, and weeks went by. And we'd call congressmen, and they'd either wouldn't come to the phone, or they would say, well, we're still working on it. More weeks passed, same thing. So finally, we decided to get their attention. We were going to picket. We carried picket cards, and we picketed Congress over in Pawhuska, the council chambers. Several congressmen were telling us the reason why we couldn't have a grocery store. One of the main ones that was talking about this was Jeffrey Standing Bear. After he had already told us once that he would see to us that it would be open, he came over and was offering a piece of paper to all the Gray Horse people around, and he came up to me and he offered it to me. And I said, Jeffrey, I don't want this. You lied about this. I don't want it. And I tore it up and I threw it at his feet. He shouted at me, you sit down and shut up. Because by that time I had stood up to face him. And I said, you sit down and shut up. And the rest of the crowd, the rest of the people in there were absolutely appalled at what he had just done and said to me. And so then Jeffrey runs out, evidently goes to over to the bureau side, and he calls the tribal police to come and arrest me. And they come, and then one of them's Nick Webster, who grew up, and he's a Gray Horse, Johnny Williams' son, and I've known Nick since he was a child. He found out it was me, so he just laughed and left. And that is why I think Jeffrey has no business being made chief of the Osages if he can treat an elder like me, who has connections and generations to the Gray Horse District. I don't think he will make a chief that will respect any woman, any Osage woman, anywhere. He has no respect for women. And it's for this reason I strongly support Margot Gray, because she's a woman that can stand up to Jeffrey.